Welcome back, folks, to Pits to Podium. It's time for a midweek Pits to Podium special. There's been a lot of news coming in from Formula One, and the one big one that's really rattled and really caused a discussion among quite a few people in the Formula One community and the whole world of sports as well, in fact, is the news that Formula One will be racing in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, next year in 2021 for a night race. Now, firstly, to introduce myself, my name is Soumil Arora, and I'm joined by Kunal Shah. He is literally the maestro of Formula One and motorsports. He's done so much. Currently working as the Formula One editor for the VS Sport Network in Norway. He's been a racing driver before, the head of marketing for Force India. He's a man who knows exactly what he's talking about. And marketing is going to be something that's really critical in this case, Kunal, because in the broader world of sport, there have been quite a few organizations going to Saudi Arabia, and this is a particularly touching issue. Now, Saudi Arabia, if you're not aware, I think you probably will be at this stage, is, let's say, known to be notorious for its human rights issues. Now, let's put it that way in a very subtle tone. I'm not going to go down to the depths of it. I think that's for you to find out. And not, it would really ruin the mood right here on this video. But nevertheless, in the last couple of years, Kunal, we've seen Serie A, the football league, host their, I think, the Coppa Italia in Saudi Arabia. We've seen the WWE go to Saudi Arabia as well. Formula E has made that plunge, and it's Formula One too right now. And the one big thing that comes into mind, the one big thing that's actually going into jeopardy is the whole We Race as One campaign. This just seems to be like the polar opposite, much like an antithesis for Formula One on the marketing side.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, firstly, thanks again for the introduction, Soumil. It's good to be talking stuff other than just the races because
Hmm.
that's what we always end up tracking, all the off-track stuff as well. 23 races in 2021. There's one calendar slot which is yet to be filled, as we know. But the one race that's of course raised a lot of questions is, like you said, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Um, it's I'll put it this way. I'm a little torn in explaining this in much depth because yes, we know, and it's been globally covered with all the issues that that country has particularly had with regards to human rights. And like you said, it's better people use Google. It's easier and faster and more accurate for them to know what we're
Yeah.
talking about. But you can't really fault Formula One for just following where the money comes from. I mean, who's to say that if there was a race in North Korea, available in 2023, they wouldn't go there? There is a chance they would, and it depends how they position and posture the race that would happen. And we will hear people from the sport say we are doing this to project that all humans are equal, and we race as one, and we are trying to use the platform of Formula One to showcase these values that the sport has and the hosting country has, and so on. So it's unfortunately the truth. Like I've heard a couple of drivers say this. We will race wherever Formula One chooses to host a race at next. It could be the moon or Mars for all we care.
I mean, the one thing that really comes to my mind at this case is I remember Michael Jordan back in the day when there was the election for the Senate of a particular state in the U.S. I can't quite remember which one, and the Senate, the Democrat campaigner, he was a black African American person supporting liberalization. It's something that really touches us, something really warm. Again, politics aside, uh, it was something that people expected Michael Jordan to back and support because that's what people expect sportsmen to do. They're supposed to be role models who express social ideas, work for change. And people really thought that this would be something that Michael Jordan would back. And Michael Jordan said that Republicans wear sneakers too. That's one line that really rung in my mind when I heard this news about Saudi Arabia. So, the one thing that really comes to my mind with this, Kunal, the one big question is that why do all sports organizations always bow down to a case like this one? I mean, I remember a couple of years ago when the WWE accepted a deal for Saudi Arabia, they were in a proper corporate mess. Their stocks dipped down, the share prices, their market image was slightly tainted. Slightly would be a bit of an understatement, but over time, things have just been forgotten, I would say.
Sawmill, sport is ultimately a business after all. Okay.
Hmm.
And I guess the long-term benefits of, a new race promoter coming in, paying the millions that they will end up doing. far outweigh the short-term chaos that is caused by the perception, of this. And at the end of the day, it's just what Formula One is out there to do. It is a money-making enterprise, and which is why Abu Dhabi is the last race of the season and not Brazil, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of these decisions are eventually dictated by what is the capital gains that one could make, and uh, I'm sure the millions that would flow are tough to come by. And this, of course, is, as we know, it's linked to the Aramco sponsorship deal with
Yeah.
Formula One. It's going to be in Jeddah in 2021, but in 2022 there is a new circuit coming up in Kitia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And Herman Tilke is going to be designing the circuit there. So it's uplifting the whole ecosystem, that's involved in the business of Grand Prix racing.
Okay, now very lastly, rather, I should say, just before we conclude, I've got this question about uh, image in general. Now, it's something that's written in most business textbooks, rather, I should say, that being sustainable, supporting good values, and having good goodwill will eventually lead to more customers coming towards you. We've seen we've seen that happen in certain cases. Body Shop being the most clear example of that in the world of business, but I think in the world of sport, I think the most defining thing would be that nobody will start watching Formula One just because they don't race in Saudi Arabia, thinking that, oh, it's good values, they're supporting human rights, I should start watching Formula One. I think they're just realizing that towards the end of the day, it's all going to fade out, and people care more of the product rather than the rights and the values.
Yeah. I mean, from a 17-year-old to be hearing management talk is very heartening, Soumil. So thank you very much. And I'll put it this way. I mean, will any team or driver end up boycotting the race next year in Saudi Arabia because of these very issues? The answer is no. Will a fan not watch the race, because it's racing in Saudi Arabia? Again, the answer is no. And if you ask different sets of fans, they will raise questions about several other races that are also being, held on
Exactly.
the calendar. So again, without any biases, I would say Azerbaijan, they could be asked a question about even the Russian Grand Prix, couple of other
Mhm.
races in the Middle East, and so on. So it's literally about how much you're willing to bend and accept what's actually been given your way. And I'm a fan who will be like, yeah, just give me great racing, and I'll watch it, I'll talk about it, I'll write about it, and you can keep all the values aside, because I have different sets of values I govern my life with, and that's also an approach that one could have out here.
Exactly. It's a bit of a divisive situation, but folks, that's it from us right here. What are your thoughts? And we would love to know your thoughts on this one. Let us know exactly what you think about this whole scenario down in the comments. That's what the comments are for. Feel free to write to us. Feel free to follow us on social media at Pits to Podium. We also have our Grand Prix prediction competition running before every race, where there are big prizes involved. So you could tune in and win over there as well. As always, Kunal, thank you so much for being here. And folks, if you like this one, feel free to leave a like, to share this video, and to subscribe to Pits the Podium. See you then for the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Soumil, and see you at a video very, very soon.